Hello, welcome everyone. We'll start our lessons today. So no one joined yet, so please just follow these, recording, and then if you have any question, just drop the email. And you all, I think so, you know me. My name is Anjum Satar. My email is there. These PowerPoint slides. So in case if you need me, just drop me email. So I'm going to start this lesson and I'm going to record this lesson as well. So before starting this lesson, we'll quick, go through our learning outcome, what we're supposed to cover under this unit, and during our first lesson, what we already covered. So please follow the first lesson recording on Moodle as well, and I'm going through the second lesson today, and we'll cover during this lesson LO2 learning outcome, 2 assessment criteria 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. So our unit title, Unit 2, Strategic Management, where we're looking the management role on the long-term, not short-term basis within an organization. So management can play a significant role in achieving or sustaining in an organization in the long term in a business. So we need to look around why there are many questions why the businesses are not sustaining long term. So management play the key role. So management job, during our last lesson I already explained you what is meant by management. Management is mean designing an environment to achieve the pre-selected objective. The objective means the end result, end of activity, what really we want to be achieved. So during our last lesson we discussed about smart objective. Objective need to be smart, or whenever we'll set any organization objective or departmental objective, always we need to look around the mission and the vision and the corporate value of the organization. Those not supposed to be our objective, not supposed to be contradict, and management supposed to be work towards mission and objective of the organization without contradictions between them, and always we need to be on the same page and the same direction. So please, if you have any question, ask me or drop me email. So the aim of this unit is understanding about the strategic and the change. Change, of course, if the things we like today, maybe we don't like tomorrow. The things always change because we're living in a world. If you look back, 10, 15 years ago, what we used to do, the mobile technology and technological change, how the businesses need to be changed themselves. If they don't change, they can't sustain it. So during our first lesson, we discussed about critically evaluate the position of an organization in its current market. I gave you many examples, like we discussed about various organizations, Unilever, Procter & Gamble. I discussed with you the British Home Store. I quoted various examples why the companies, a lot of companies liquidate, are in a process of liquidation. So this is due to not properly reflecting what is sort of the change required organization. Like I mentioned you during our last lesson, why Primark is successful, why the British Home Store reach at that position, they have to close their businesses. So we need to look around their business. So critically analyze the effect of the existing plan and organization. So we discuss about their existing plan, how this affect, our performance of the organization or for the organization. So critically, today lesson will be LO2, learning outcome 2, we are addressing, and we'll go through. So LO2 is be able to propose strategic options for an organization. So strategic option. So management job to make a decision and make the right options for organization within a current environment. Those will help organization to sustain, make any changes those are required for organization to sustain in a business. So our first assessment criteria 2.1 is a critical discuss the relationship between corporate business and operational strategies, which we'll go through. Corporate business at the corporate level, at the top level management, what corporate business we are in, and operational strategies, operational level, like marketing is one of operation, production is one of operation, distribution, sales, after sales service is one of the operations. So you have to make strategies to achieve and increase the customer satisfaction to boost the business. So access the strategical models, which will go through different models, tools to develop the strategic for organization. According to one great scholar, great economist, uh, Neil Robin, he gave the theory unlimited wants and the limited resources. We have unlimited wants and the resources. In the same way, in our organization, we have unlimited plans, but we have a limited resources. So those organizations are successful. They apply or they use their or deploy their resources effectively. Like, the think about Apple iPhone, the company has reached 1 trillion mark. Is only one company in the world reached up to 1 trillion mark. That was the news on last week. You all hope so heard in your local news as well, in the international news. It was on the BBC as well. So a value is the strategic option for an organization. The option, strategic option, which we are looking, not short-term option, we looking the long-term option. What we have as our organization, like the Tesco in the UK is cash and carry. Their pure business is a cash and carry business, but they look around the some strategic option. Think they already invested money building in the new houses in the UK. So to look at the various options, various alternative to sustain in a business, because it's very difficult. The thing, the way we used to do the business traditionally, maybe we can't sustain. So we have to evaluate each option. Country 1, country 2, country 3. So if we go through different options we have to do business, so we can go for direct investment. We can make strategic alliance with various organizations. Those are local companies. They can understand the cultures betterly. So that's why we need to look around each option and some consequences of each options. So we need to assess the risk. During our last lesson, I discussed with you, risk is mean the probability of outcome something. So normally we think the risk is always bad. The risk can be positive as well towards the organization. Normally in business, we say higher the risk, higher the reward. So higher the risk mean you're taking higher risk, you higher reward, because investing in those countries with the high risk normally is the high return as well. But always we need to quantify the risk, how much we are in a position as an organization to undertake those risks. So today lesson will be, during our last lesson we already discussed about stakeholder. What is the difference between stakeholder and shareholder? We discussed about stakeholder mean anybody who has any interest in the company, or their interest will be influenced by the action of the company, or from the decision of the company. We call the stakeholders. So we discussed various stakeholders. We discussed about short-term, long-term, competitor analysis. We discussed during our last lessons as well. So today I'm focusing LO2, and we'll go through LO2 using a variety of tools to critically analyze external business environment. So during our last lesson, I already mentioned you PEST, political, economic, social, and technological environment, which is external environment. Every business has to face two types of environment. One is called micro environment. Micro environment mean the internal environment, which is a controllable. So the way we are running the business, we can change. It's in our control. The policy, the shift pattern, putting the right people at the right job at different, in department. It's up to us, where we'll, as a manager, you think, where that person is suitable for any role. So we discussed during these, last lesson. Then we discussed about political, economic, social, and technological environment, which we call the micro environment. Micro environment is uncontrollable. We can't control it. Whatever happening due to the Brexit in the UK or rest of the world, now for suppose, the tariff war between China and the United States and Donald Trump, what he's saying about the more toward the localization instead of in globalization. So we need to think about, if this is happening as a company, how will change ourselves. The environment always change. We have to adjust our operation. We have to make some strategic decisions to be sustained in a business. So always we need to look around. So dynamic environment, dynamic means the environment is changed. So think about the last week interest rate in the UK is changed from 0.5% to 0.75%. It means 0.25% interest rate increase. So as a business manager, you have to make a decision. 0.25 quarter cent your price increase, actually the cost will increase if we are borrowing money, or the things will become expensive. So we need to bring efficiencies. If we not bring the efficiencies, we can't sustain in a business. So always we need to look around the changing environment. We have to change our operations. If we don't change it, we'll be really, not sustain in a business. So which we'll go through more in details now. So different changes, basis of business environment. What are the bases? Why these changes are happening? Organizational environment, benchmark. Benchmark is mean the benchmark is what is the basic, the benchmark in the industry. So always look around. If I'm producing one goods, one a product in £5 and benchmark is £4, so I'm £1 expensive. Like think about Chinese companies making the things, producing the things in pennies. So how will sustain it? So as a company, maybe we can differentiate ourselves on the basis of quality, basis of innovation. So which we'll go through and we'll link, benchmark. So when we compare our performance with our competitors, so always look around the industry benchmark. So liability means the legal obligation. We are obliged what is towards, which we supposed to be settled. So we have a legal obligation towards shareholder. We have a legal obligation towards the environment. We have a legal obligation. So we call triple bottom line concept, where we need to look around the profitability. We need to look around the environment. We have to care environment, and we have to look around, care about our people, our staff. Those are the is a crucial asset for the organization to sustain in a business. So elasticity means the change in demand due to the change in supply. So when we have a more supply, what will be happen on demand? Normally when more supply, the price will be dropped. When high demand, the prices will be increased if the supply is less. If the supply and demand is balance and change in the same direction, the same way, in the same proportion, in the same percentage, then of course, the prices will be sustained as well. So we need to look around intellectuality. So how will look around, more intellectual copyright, and those will commitment of team. So during one of lesson, I already discussed with you team is very important. Commitment of team. How will get the commitment of team in a business? So each team member, you have to listen. You have to design a system as a management, like I earlier mentioned, your management role to design an environment. So you have to design an environment. You get the commitment of the team. I already mentioned you Henry Ford about the team. So why the team is important? So coming together is a beginning, keeping together is the progress, and working together is a success. So for the success, we need a team commitment. Management practices. So management style, we need to look around the leadership style. We need to look around. We discuss about democratic, autocratic. Sometimes your style need to be changed according to, sometimes you're autocratic, sometimes you're democratic. You need to look around the dynamic environment, and your style need to be reflect as well. Because if you can't meet the target and your worker is too lazy, you can't sustain in a business. So that's why sometimes we have to change our management style as well. Effectiveness and efficiency. So what is the difference? Effectiveness mean is a benchmark. If you're hitting the benchmark, you're effective. You can sustain in a business. What is efficiency? If you want to be maximize your profit, we're supposed to be efficient, using less input and making more output and getting more output. So you have to focus how we can reduce our setup time in our organization. We need to look around, how we'll improve or reduce the wastage in the organization. We need to look around the delivery time in the organization. So all these are the function within our organization. We need to look around threats and opportunity in our organization. Threats and opportunity always come on from the external environment. So always in a business, you have to identify the threats. What sort of the threats we have in a business? Think about globalization and localization, wars now between the company, new tariff, new sanction against the Russian company, lot of the things happening. So these are the threads for various businesses. So we need to think about how will, maybe we need to look around the diverse market, we need to look around the more towards the emerging market where high population rate. So to minimize the threat, maybe we need to more involve the partnership. We need to make the partnership with various stakeholders, with the various companies, to increase opportunities. Of course, opportunities come from the external environment as well. So we need to look around the growth rate. Like mother care, they have an option because the restriction remove on the second child in China. So if we are doing the business and selling or buying, the things, those are related to the babies and products. So we need to look around those. Environment is providing us opportunity. So which will go through market analysis. So market analysis can be based on your secondary and primary research. So which I'll go through now. Primary research, the research which we will conduct it first hand, which we will get the data first data. So always is good to be. Consumer survey is part of the research we can do as well. Competitor identification we can do for the research purposes. Market research, data and information analysis. How we'll analyze the information to make a effective decision for the organization. And those can be strategic as well as the operational level performance can be affected. So we need to look around these. Anybody, any questions? So if any questions, so please drop me emails. Okay, we'll start our lessons today. Okay, so today is the second lesson and about the management unit 2. So I'll go through the aim of this lesson: introduction to Porter 5 forces, those relevant to the business environment. We'll discuss about the strategic capabilities and competencies. What is meant by dynamic environment, strategic capabilities and competencies, what is meant by, and what is the difference between them. I'll discuss with you. Then next, we'll go through the BCG metric, is called Boston Consultant Group Metrics, and which is quite important to look around the product, how many product we have, how we can sustain competitor analysis, on what basis we can do the competitor analysis, what is meant by competitive advantage, how we can increase the competitive advantage in the dynamic environment. So which we'll discuss today. So the discussion will be the primary and secondary research. And the end of the lesson, I wish you will be in a position to discuss what is meant by Porter 5 forces, strategic capability, BCG metrics, and difference between primary and secondary research. So next, what do you know about the strategies and strategic planning? What is a strategy? The word strategies is derived from the Greek word strategis, which used to be in the military, mean counter attack, against our enemies. So how we can attack them, how we can protect our self against enemies. So that's the strategies, mean the action plan. So we need to make an action plan. So like during our last lesson, I already discussed you what's happened with Big W, Peacock, Blockbuster, BHS. Now House of Fraser is going to be liquidated. The today news which is going to rescue by is a lot of investment from Sports Direct. So we need to look around these. Okay. Anybody knows what is meant by strategic capabilities? So strategic capability is a term in the organization resources and competencies, how relate the strategies of organization. In how the strategic capability might provide sustainable competitive advantage, the advantage we have against the competitor. So we can use is called Virgo model, value, reality, intimidability, and organizational support. So we need to look around, diagnose strategic capability by means, in term of what value we have, what variety we have. We'll go through SWOT analysis, we'll develop strategic capabilities in our organization, how we can develop it. So we'll discuss. So next. What are the strategic capabilities? Capabilities and competencies, the key difference. If you pass your driving test, you're capable to drive, but you're not a competent. So competencies come from experience and expertise. So after few years driving, after few years your experience, you become a competent. So capabilities, you're capable to do the task, but you're not competent to perform the task independently. So somebody need to be in our organization monitoring or shadowing or guiding. So that's why it's quite important in our organization. So how to strategic capability contribute to, if we are a strategic capabilities and competencies contribute or leads to the competitive advantage, superior performance. Think about in terms of Apple, which is reached to the 1 trillion mark, they of the assets. So we need to look around. Anybody, any question? So if any question, drop me emails, those are listening this lesson. So the resource-based view. Next model, we are going first. Resource-based view. Strategies asserted that the competitive advantage of superior performance from an organization explained by the how we can make ourselves differentiate ourselves against the competitors. So strategic capabilities are the capability and organization that contribute the long-term survival or the competitive advantage. Resources, asset that the organization have or can call upon. So we need to look around for partner or supplier. That what we have. Competencies are the way those assets are used or deployed effectively. So if you're applying the resources effectively, you're a competent. The £1, 1 million we have worth of offset. In 1 million we are producing 0.2 million profit out of it, is and other companies producing 0.1. So we are a competent, then there we have a competitive advantage. So we need to look around. So strategic capabilities, so we have capability, we have physical, financial and human resources. Competencies, the way we are achieving utilization of resources. So machine building, product, patent, databases, computer system, those are physical resources. So the way we are achieving utilization of these efficiencies and productivity, flexibility, so those come under the competencies. So balance sheet, cash flows, supply, all these are come. So these will, if we are competent, that will create, the long-term survival and competitive advantage for organization. So like Unilever used to be 250 brand, and they reduce it because those brands are very sustainable. They kept it around 120 brand, rest 130 brand they sold it, sources it out, because those brand those are, we call loss making unit. So we need to rid of them, otherwise will be hard for us as an organization to sustain, because those are, we transfer and they taking our money. So dynamic capabilities are mean by which an organization has ability to renew. If you're saying your skills and knowledge or expertise are enough forever, no, it's not. Dynamic, those are changed. We have to renew and recreate a strategic capability to meet the needs of changing environment. So as an organization, if we don't use the technology, if we hate the technology, if we not best utilization of our resources, so we never can sustain in our organization for the long run. So such capability, so we from ordinary capability that may be necessary to operate efficiently, but now may not be sufficient to sustain superior performance in future. So that's why is CPDs, continuous professional development. That's why the training and development budget, if we are cutting training and development budget, like think about why we don't have a Nokia. What's happened with the Nokia? We all used to be a Nokia. What, we don't have any more Nokia. Very few people. How many of you have a Nokia? Hardly 1 or 2 out of 20 people have Nokia still due to the battery, or maybe just want to be used the ordinary phone. But the Nokia not, because the Nokia CEO make a decision, cut the cost on the research and development and close the research and development center. Ultimately, what's happened, the Apple, iPhone and the Samsung and various other company, they capture the market, they introduce or launch the new innovative product. So always we need to look around the capability we have to renew it. If we don't renew them, we can't sustain in a business. Sensing capability, constantly scanning and exploring new opportunity across the market technology, seizing capabilities, addressing the opportunity through new product and process and activity, reconfiguring capabilities. So new product and the processes may be required with new and reconfiguring capability and investment in technology. So we need to look around. Reflection in the short term, we can say, reflection is threshold capability. Those are needed as long, those are called benchmark. Threshold, if we're not hitting the threshold, it's very difficult to sustain in a business, which will carry on loss making. Think about BHS, many years loss making. So you need to close those stores, those are making losses, or you need to look around design of the product lines, those are, not are giving us profit. Because why is the prime market successful compared to the BHS? So we need to make a decision. So that's why the capability we need to renew. If we're not meeting the threshold, we need to look around. So expansion up to certain extent is okay, but if we reach, this expansion, just a matter of getting more market share, but making the loss as well. So how we can sustain it? So please go through these. So those you can use in your assignment as well. So threshold, resources required, able to compare in or compete with the market. Competency, threshold competency, what are the minimum profit we really need to make us to sustain in a business, a minimum time of delivery, minimum customer satisfaction at least, so all these we require to sustain in a business. And okay, anybody any question? Core competency, link the set of skills, activities, resources that together deliver customer value. So value added product, what is meant by value added? It means more than the customer expectation. Customer expecting, so delivery will be in 1 week, we can deliver in a days. So that's think about Argus launched the scheme. If you order before 3 o'clock, item will be delivered on the same day. So value with the same price, yes. So if the competitor is not doing, of course, we have a competitive advantage we can create. So differentiate a business from its competitor. Potential can be extended and develop as a market change or the new opportunity to use. So always need to next competitive advantage. Competitive advantage can come and will lead to the success. So RIO model. So value, do capability exist the value by the customer and enable organization to respond to the environmental opportunity? Do the capability exist, no are the new competitor processes? Imitability, are the capability difficult and costly for competitor to obtain? The capability, those has as a Apple is very difficult. Those are hard to develop for other organizations. Those based on the innovation, they have the staff. Those are very. So all this we need to look around, in our organization to sustain. So you have to ask the question, look around your competitor and do the competitor analysis regular review, because if you want to sustain in the market, so as a manager, it's your job to regularly reflect, and scanning environment is quite crucial. Even in any profession as well, either you're in a profession or you're doing in a business. So always we need to look around and we have to. Anybody any question? If any question, drop me email. So please watch this video, is quite good. It's a managementdirect.org.uk. This video is all about the CA, discussing about how we can create and sustain. So next we look in the value chain. So the raw material in country, think about the raw material in Nigeria. When that material transfer into the finished goods, that become as a value. It's in pennies, it's become in pounds. So how we can change in the value as an organization? Describe the category, the activity within our organization which together create the product and the services. The value chain consists of 5 primary activities which directly concerned with the creation or the delivery of the product and services, and 4 sport activities. So these are the activities within our organization when we do will create more value as an organization. So always look around the fun infrastructure. Fun infrastructure, how the our organization structure, our chain of command, our the top level and decision making, human resource management. If we not manage human resource, if we have a right talent, if we don't have a right talent, we can't make the right product. The right product, if we not make the right product, we can't sustain in the market. Technology development. So if we have a good talent, technology development, what we are working towards technology development. Procurement, how our strong procurement system or the supply chain system in place in our. So these are called sportive activities. Those support us. So primary activities, inbound logistic within our organization, we need to inbound. What is meant by inbound? The things are coming in the warehouse, we call inbound. Operations within our organization, outbound is mean those are things going outside, those are mean raw material, and outbound those are your finished goods in our organization. Marketing and sales, those are come under the primary activity. If you can't satisfy, or the satisfaction of the client or the customer will be lower, what will be happen? Customer is a king. If we can't keep happy, then what will happen? They will move around, they shop around, and ultimately we lose the business. So we need to focus on the primary and the sportive activity to create a value over our slides as well. Okay, so it's quite good how we can create a value. Mentortool.com, that's a website. It's quite good video and articles. Please go through this, and you can use the reference in your assignment as well. So follow this, I'll go through the quiz next lesson. Those will be online video. Then, okay, use of value chain, a generic description of activity. Understand how the discrete activities cluster linked. Cluster. So cluster mean the group activities. So we can look around, some activities are very, very crucial. You can't sustain it. One of them is like a primary activity, the customer satisfaction. After sales service. Product is no doubt is need to be crucial, but the person who deal with it need to be trained and well behaved, Analyzing the competitive position of the organization using this model enhance the double leads. So please go through these slides. Value system, ordering after buying, involving suppliers and things, always relationship will various stakeholder will increase the value in the organization. So next point of discussion is a SWOT analysis, which is provide the generic summary of the strengths and weaknesses. Those we already discussed, in the previous lesson. Internal analysis, we need to look around internally, which area we are strong, which area we not use the word weaknesses, or the area of development. Those are competitors are strong. So how we'll improve it? So we always need to be reflect. External analysis, we need to do opportunity. What opportunity in future? If the young population, like central government in the UK is thinking to build northern powerhouse in north, because looking the opportunity, the potential, the young growth rate, those we have in those areas. So it will create the more opportunity for the local businesses. So we need to look around around 70 million worth of investment in Yorkshire or the north. So that will create more opportunity for the businesses. Threat, it can be if we don't develop it, still we not get the job, the share. So we need to look around how we'll change, to how we can overcome. If we have a good strength, if we have a good knowledge, skills, abilities, we have a good financial position, we can overcome those threats, those we have, like, we need to think about the Brexit. And so all this we need to look around. So always try to scan the environment, identify. So we can look around any company financial statement, we can look around the future, we can look around their previous profit, we can look around what is happening in industry, what is the benchmark. So all, we can reflect to do the proper SWOT analysis. We'll do proper SWOT analysis during our next lesson. I'll bring some companies example and we'll see, all together then, and I'll give you activities as well to do. So next, SWOT matrix, which is always based, is based on the SWOT strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's now we looking SO. We are measuring the how much strong we are, how much opportunity we have, weaknesses, opportunities, strength, and threats. How much we are strong. If we will reach a situation we are very weak, we don't have a fund, we don't have a cash, we cash position is very bad in the organization, but lot of companies entering into market. We have a competition not within the UK, outside the UK as well as throughout the world. In this situation, it's very difficult to sustain. So maybe at this point, we'll close our business or we diversify our business into the new sector, into the new environment, or into the new product, or into the new market. So we need to look around. So please go through these slides. It's quite good, when you do your assignment. So next we look at BCD Matrix. BCD is called Boston Consultant Group. They gave the metric. Is quite good to be for analysis purposes. So star. Some product we have a star. Those have a very high market share and a high growth rate. So we can call them star. So think about iPhone. Latest version of iPhone can be a star in the Apple product portfolio. So maybe some product like a desktop is maybe becoming a dog or the problem child. How we can, if we have a problem child in the house, what we do normally we can send them in special center. They can keep problem child, or we call dog, some analysts use the word. So which means lower market share and lower growth rate. If it's a low market share, lower growth rate, and we're not expecting to growth rate will increase, ultimately those products we can phase out them, and we not really keep them in our product portfolio, because otherwise we'll carry on making losses. Some product can be cash cows. Is a low growth rate, but they have a high market shares, those products, by making a lot of cash out of it. Like, the Pepsi, original Pepsi still have a high cash, we can call is a cash cow for the Pepsi product. When we look the other product, some product, maybe Zero Pepsi is a star, but not generating enough cash. So all these, some maybe the product need to be, those are the question mark. Either you want to keep in a product portfolio or not, or you want to be, either they can become a star or cash cow, or maybe become a dog in future. So always you need to reflect, So always look around the company, each product shares, SBU, strategic business unit. Like if you look the Ford have so many different brands. Ford Focus, Ford Fiesta, Ford Mondeo. So each product we need to look around how much profit we are, which one is a star, which one is a cash, which one is becoming a problem child. So always, we can make a decision. So for the analysis purposes, it's quite good to look around. Next, we look in the Porter 5 forces. According to the Michael Porter, one of the great scholar, he wrote many books. He gave you many theories. So for the business analysis purposes, Porter 5 forces is quite useful technique to look around. You need to look around the thread of the new product. You need to look around the thread of the substitute product. What is the substitute? If that product is like, the Chinese product, iPhone, what sort of substitute, the same sort of phone with a different name. So people have, so total substitute, if the sugar price will go up or increase, honey, the can be used in terms of to use as a sugar, the sweetness, so we need to look around what substitute we have, the product when we need to. So when we look around the environmental analysis, I will do the environmental analysis. Please look the sources as well. So supplier, is it only one supplier is providing us goods? If there are many suppliers, that supplier power will be less, and we can negotiate with them. Or the supplier power will be high. So high and low, we can based on the how many suppliers. In the special market economy, is the perfect market. Is in is by the perfect market where everything controlled by the market forces. Sometimes government is quite high, with a lot of watchdog and regulatory bodies where you can raise the complaint. So how much is the power if we don't fulfill the requirement of the customer wishes, or we not sell the product according to they maybe will be against that, ultimately we can't sustain it. Rivalry is mean how much is the competition with how many companies competing each other. So always need to be look around Porter 5 forces model we use, for the environmental scanning. Next, primary research, like I earlier mentioned, is mean the first-hand information, the information. So whenever you make any decision, strategic level, long-term, short-term, or the operational level, any strategies you want to make are will make. So all we need to be do the both primary, and you have to look around the secondary data, the data which is all we have. Those second time we are using are already been published, we call secondary data. The primary is the first-hand information. So first-hand information we can get through the questionnaire, through the focus group, or observation method. Each method have advantages and disadvantages. So please go through these. Data mean the raw facts and figures, those we use. You need to look around how we can convert data into the information, and then we can make the right decision to achieve. So I'm giving you activity. So please, before next lesson, if you can look around the Unilever history, mission, corporate objectives, strategies, how many brand and how much turnover last 2 years. And please, can you also look the Procter and Gamble history, mission, vision, corporate objectives, strategies, number of brands. That will help us to be compare, and then we'll link our discussion with these two companies. So I already put the link because of course I'm recording this lesson, we can't run the quiz. Plus, please, you can copy this link and paste into just a Google search box, or you can play this quiz. The Porter generic strategies, those we just learned during our last lesson. I already mentioned you the Porter 5 forces as well. So please just play. You will get, and just at the end you review these questions, and you will get the answers as well where you went right or wrong. In case if you have, these are some recommended book. If you want to, I'll upload few extra books for you, so please just follow. So my email on these slides, so please, if you have any question, drop me email or send message to Raman if you have any issues, anything. So please, those are listening or this recording, so please try to attend tomorrow lesson. We have around, I will let you know if I need to change, but normally we do 3 o'clock our lesson. So please, just follow. If you have any issue, just drop me text. If you want to change the time, let me know as well. I'll consult with all, the student, and maybe we'll make, alternative arrangement. I will change your time, if that time not suits you, 3 o'clock, not suits you in your place, because of course, different time zone we are working. So maybe it will be harder to manage everyone, but we can try to be a majority people, so those can't attend, maybe we'll try to be just, one-to-one quick, recap session with that. So any question, drop me email. So today we learn about environmental scanning technique. Mention your different model of how we can make decision and why decisions are important. I quoted various sort of examples, various companies, so please go through. Today we discuss about LO2, learning outcome 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 assessment criteria. So please go through 2.1, 2.2. Start writing your assignment brief on Moodle as well. So if you have any during next lesson, any questions, so please ask me. Start writing and make sure use Harvard reference style. So if you're not sure what is meant by Harvard reference style, how we can use the Harvard reference style, so please follow our PowerPoint slides on Moodle as well. Plus, just type on YouTube Harvard reference, how you can do Harvard reference style in your assignment. So please, or otherwise drop me email. I'll send you some resources as well. So have a nice weekend, have a nice time everywhere, and I will speak you, hope so, tomorrow some point. If any question, drop me email. Have a lovely evening, have a nice day, and good afternoon, depends where you are and what time zone you are. Have a nice time. Bye-bye. Twenty G